Hello everyone, welcome to OncoNerd, where complex cancer therapies are broken down into simpler bits of information. In this video, we will review another common chemotherapy drug, Paclitaxel, or its commonly known brand name, Taxol. By the end of the presentation, you will have learned about these key points. Because Paclitaxel affects cell division, we will start with a brief review of the cell cycle. A cell is mostly in growth phase, and a portion of the cell cycle involves mitosis, which is the process where a single cell divides its copied DNA into two genetically identical daughter cells. During mitosis, there are several phases that involve chromosomes condensing, lining up in the center, and being pulled to opposite poles and preparing for cleavage and division. The attachment and pulling of chromosomes are done through the help of microtubules. Microtubules are made up of alpha and beta tubulin proteins, and these polymers assemble and disassemble and help to support the shape of the cell, move chromosomes and other cellular structures in the cell. Now, how does this relate to Paclitaxel? Paclitaxel is a chemotherapy drug that stabilizes microtubules. It is used for various solid tumors and in combination with other chemotherapies and/or radiation. It was initially discovered as a compound from the Pacific yew tree. Paclitaxel is highly water insoluble, which requires a surfactant chromophore and ethanol, which are associated with its high risk of reaction and neurotoxic side effects. This is an image of the Pacific yew tree. Paclitaxel binds to the tubulin subunit of microtubules and stabilizes the polymer. Eventually, microtubules become non-functional since they are no longer able to depolymerize. Microtubules are dynamic structures that need to be able to assemble and disassemble to provide its structural functions. Eventually, the cell cycle becomes stuck and cells are unable to separate, and this leads to cell death, aka apoptosis. Paclitaxel is highly protein-bound, and it is primarily metabolized in the liver via CYP2C8. It is excreted mostly into the biliary system. There are various dosing schedules based on the treatment protocol. Dose adjustments are done for hepatic impairment or side effects such as neuropathy or myelosuppression. It is given via intermittent infusion, intraperitoneal administration, or for HIPEC. And due to the high risk of reactions, as we mentioned, due to the surfactant, pre-medications are required. Side effects of Paclitaxel include alopecia, peripheral neuropathy, typical of stocking and glove distribution, and musculoskeletal pain, typical on around day 3 since the administration, and it tends to resolve within days. Hypersensitivity can occur, which tend to be most common during the first 2 cycles and often within the first 10 to 15 minutes of the infusion. It can appear as flush, warmth, itch, shortness of breath, and require stopping of the infusion and administration of supportive medications, such as steroids and antihistamines. This tends to be due to the chromophore surfactant rather than Paclitaxel itself. Albumin-bound or nab-paclitaxel product, which is Paclitaxel bound to human albumin nanoparticles, does not contain chromophore and can be used in substitution for those with moderate severe reactions to Paclitaxel. Other side effects include myelosuppression, edema, mucositis, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Because of its alcohol content, disulfiram and metronidazole may lead to alcohol intolerance reaction if given with Paclitaxel. Because Taxol undergoes CYP2C8 and minimally also CYP3A4, Strong inducers or inhibitors of these CYP enzymes may interact with paclitaxel. There may be an interaction with warfarin and also with other immunosuppressants, causing additive myelosuppressive effects. Here is a summary slide of the presentation. Paclitaxel is a microtubule stabilizer. It prevents the depolymerization and leads to apoptosis. It is a very common chemotherapy drug used to treat various solid tumors such as ovarian, breast, or lung. The chemophore surfactant in paclitaxel is associated with high risk of hypersensitivity reaction, especially in the first 1 to 2 cycles and often within minutes of administration. Dosing can be adjusted based on hepatic impairment and side effects such as myelosuppression or neurotoxicity. Other side effects of paclitaxel include alopecia, musculoskeletal pain, edema, nausea, vomiting, etc. And there are drug interactions with CYP2C8 strong inducers or inhibitors, disulfiram, metronidazole, etc. And that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give this video a like and subscribe. Feel free to comment below for any oncology drug topics you'd like to see being covered in this channel. And hope you have a wonderful day.